Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Check out this article I found from Newsweek, and it is showing a very ugly scenario for the housing market. Basically, the title of the article is Housing Market Crash Fears After Prices Fall for Fifth Month in a Row. So as this article states, it is basically painting a very ugly picture of what is to come. Look over here, says in some of the most inflated areas in the United States, we could see drops as low as during the Great Recession of '07 and '09. That would be pretty catastrophic. So as I'm looking at a lot of articles in general, especially this one, they say, Austin, Phoenix, and Diego, San Jose saw more declines, more than 25%. So things are starting to look pretty scary in general. Now, one of the things I've been seeing is a lot of layoffs, especially in the tech industry. And that should be alarming, especially for the housing market, because remember, tech jobs tend to pay quite more than, regular jobs out there, right? So, you could see how a lot of tech jobs did drive some of the housing boom. Remember when people were leaving San Francisco during COVID and they were moving, to smaller cities where they could buy a house, relatively cheap compared to the Bay Area, San Francisco. Well, they started snatching up those houses, like in Boise is a good example. And suddenly those places just ballooned in price, right? Well, now think about how we have a recession. Those same programmers, those same people that work for those tech companies are getting laid off by, pretty significant numbers out there. Now, you got situations where, these people might be put in a situation where they bought at the top or they bought pretty expensive. Now, as those prices are coming down and they don't have a job, that could trigger a lot more, basically the collapse, right? Now, what's another thing that I'm seeing in the market that I'm worried about is basically the price of food. I have a buddy sent me this picture that he went out and he was eating some noodles at a really nice noodle house somewhere in LA. And I looked at it, I'm like, oh, okay, so noodles, a little bit of chicken, whatever. And I thought, man, I wonder how much that is, right? I looked at it, man, he ended up telling me with like a cup of noodles, some chicken, and a beer, it came out to $40. Okay, $40. Now he's like, hey, it was delicious, well worth it. But you know what? How many times like can people afford to go out to dinner when it's going to be costing $40 for a cup of noodle basically and a beer, right? Going out, even going to the market is getting very expensive. So not only are we seeing some layoffs in high paying jobs, I definitely think some of this is going to translate into the regular economy as, these people, if any of this group starts, doing foreclosures, I mean, there's just not enough money out there. Now, if you look at the employment reports, they're really high, right? I mean, low. We have low unemployment, which is good. But here's the problem. A lot of those jobs, they're not high paying jobs, right? A lot of those jobs are in the food industry, which I'm sorry, even managers, for small restaurants, they don't make enough to, pay the house prices that we have. So I definitely agree that we're probably going to see prices fall. Now, I just, like I've said in videos in the past, is, how fast can they fall, right? And like, is this going to happen over time? I fear that if anything happens, anything crazy happens, just like if you could isolate everything like wars and things like that, and you could just have like a normal whatever, just focus on the economy, I think it would be a slow kind of drop. But if anything happens, if any wars break out, if any turmoil happens, whatever, I could see big drops, right? Hopefully there's no, remember during the '08, '09 recession, which was like basically when we found out that, all these companies, it like the New York Stock Exchange was involved with more, with putting a lot of these fraudulent loans into mortgage-backed securities. So that triggered a whole sell-off in the stock market. Now, the stock market, I do believe, is overpriced, but again, we do have high inflation, and that's what happens, right? Everything seems overvalued right now. So we might see a big drop in the stock market in the next year. It's going to be scary. Now, things are looking pretty good right now. I saw Bitcoin, is definitely rallying. The stock market is rallying. We'll just see for how long, and we'll see. Maybe it just goes sideways. That would be the best case scenario in some ways, or the best case scenario would be if things keep, people keep making money and whatnot. But now with AI looming, taking a lot of jobs, things are looking very, very shaky. So look, I'm going to keep you up to date. I'm going to bring you guys articles that I think are meaningful to the housing market. So please, just if you like these videos, you like what I have to say, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and go ahead and like and leave a comment. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.